Ghosts of Tabor. Ghosts of Tabor. I can't. Why does my head look like this? So, I don't know what's going on with my head here. It's with any avatar. Ghosts of Tabor is a VR-only FPS, PvP, and PvE extraction shooter game where you will use your wits, skills, and resources to survive. Inspired by games, in my own words, that is what Ghosts of Tabor is about. And I like the game and all, but there's a lot of bugs. Like, a lot of bugs. From game-breaking things like your butt. From game-breaking things like your bag disappearing through a wall when I'm climbing up a ladder, to being shot from 1,019 meters on a map that's 1,000 meters. How does this work? I don't know. And there's a couple blazing issues with the game that I think us as a community can agree suck. The servers are laggy, they crash. Sometimes you'll load in and then unload in and lose everything you brought in. Secure containers are another thing that just ruin the game completely. Alright, I had to put holsters back because they were bugging my game. So imagine for a second, you have this. Say this is a secure container, right? And you find something. Say this, a purple keycard. Anyways, it's really valuable, right? So normally you would put this in your bag, right? And if you got shot by, say, an M1 SAS, I have no ammo. If you got shot by, say, an M1 SAS, right? Like, these guys just pulled up on you. Boom, boom, boom. The fuck? I've got a bolt-action M1 SAS. Anyways, say you were killed by an M1 SAS, right? You had this in your back. Boom. They get it, right? Fair and square. No. So imagine you take this, put this in here, right? Put this in the wormhole of the secure container, right? This into here. Or like an electronic wallet like this, up to like $15,000. This, boom, into there, gone into the wormhole. Boom, orange key card. God. And then you take this and you shove it up your ass and around the corner, and boom, it's gone. And if you die, that with all of these things comes with you back into your bunker. And the same works for like a GPU, a whole GPU. If you grind for like 2 weeks, you can get a container that can fit an entire GPU. One of these that can fit an entire computer GPU, a 4090 in it, in this wormhole of space. And you can just take that and you can get 40,000 out of a raid. You can go in completely naked, nothing. Naked. And you can come out with 40,000. You can come out with a kit. A whole kit. And these, too. These, right here, purple keycards, they are so incredibly rare. And I found, like, maybe 2 of these. Maybe. You can, like, only get them from missions, pretty much. And even then, it's honestly not even worth it to run anymore. Like, you hardly ever get good stuff. You could have a purple where you get 3 tier 6s, 2 bottles of full AP, and like the best loot in the whole game, or you can get a MP5. Same with a red key card. I don't have a prop for that. Imagine this was red, and you found it, and red key card, yay, and you run it, and it's terrible. No refunds, nothing. And then there's the issue with cheaters. Just the other day, I saw a person flying around the map. I'll put a clip of that somewhere in the vicinity
What is he doing?
of the world over here.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Look at that guy. You see him flying? Yeah, another thing are the guns and the time to kill. So, see, you can have like the best stuff in the entire game. You can pull up looking like this without the gun, like with the TSVLA. But you can get one tapped by, say, a G3A3, 762x51. You can get one tapped to the leg from like 250 meters. That's like all the way over. That's like all the way over there. Say you have an AWM. This isn't an AWM. I don't have a mod for the AWM. But say this was an AWM. Oh my god, look at that. That's like 60 BMG right there. But say you have one of these, right? This actually might be a 50 BMG. That's a 50 BMG. But anyways, say you have one of these, right? Take a player wearing the same stuff as me. You can take one of these, hit this guy in the head twice, like that, right? He's still alive. Even just the fact that an Alton could survive like an MCX spear. Like, this isn't that big of a caliber, right? But this would still go straight. This would still. Why is this bolt action too? Oh, it doesn't even fire. Nomad suppressor? The suppressors make no sense. This should not take guns from sounding like this. Sounding like this. Like, come on, that is unreasonable. Oh god. Alright, the last thing I want to go over is the DLCs. So, DLCs for this game, honestly, aren't that bad. My only problem with them is, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. Instead of spending money on actually fixing stuff like bugs and glitches and all of that, they would rather put time and effort into making DLCs. And like, we don't need more DLCs. We need hot fixes. Like, what are we doing? Sure, they're cool and all, but we don't need more.